Thank you, Adrian. Good evening, everyone. And what price a place in Europe come the end of the season for either Brentford or Fulham? This year, they're the cream of the crop in West London football, at least so far. Brentford's second Premier League campaign has been even more impressive than their first, while Fulham have finally found the recipe for top-flight success after false dawns in previous years. And for this fixture to be 9th against 7th in the Premier League is really testament to what both clubs have achieved in such a short space of time. Right, here are the two sides. Brentford, Raya in goal, Hickey, Pinnock, me and Henry, Damsgaard, Norgard and Jensen, with Mbermo and Visser either side of Ivan Toney. For Fulham, Leno is the goalkeeper, Tete, Diop, Ream and Robinson. Reed and Lukic, his first start in the Premier League. Likewise Solomon, with Pereira and Willian in support of Mitrovic up front. No João Palhinha tonight. He is suspended. Well, we had driving rain in the build-up to the game in West London, and it's still coming down at a slightly lessened pace now, thankfully, Danny Murphy. But the one thing we do know is that this ball is going to zip off the surface.
Yeah, most footballers enjoy playing with the wet surface, so you can zip the ball through the line to really play your passes, and tends to favour the team that wants to play more good football, of course. What I'm really looking forward to is two teams full of confidence. Basically got a free hit from now till the end of the season. Both clubs would have been wary at the beginning of the season of not being in a relegation fight. Let's be honest about it. They've both had better than expected seasons, and therefore now they can enjoy these games, can really play with a freedom to try and go on the front foot and win these games.
Well, nobody expected them to reach these heady heights in the Premier League. Brentford unbeaten in their last 11 in the top flight, and Fulham on their best run of the season as well. Brentford players escape from a huddle ahead of kick-off here, and it'll be Fulham to get the West London derby underway, playing from right to left in a turquoise and black away strip, and Brentford in their familiar red and white striped shirts, black shorts and black and white socks. We are ready for a West London derby with genuine significance, would you believe it, in the race for Europe. It is Brentford against Fulham, Monday Night Football, and as ever, the only place to be on the radio on nights like this is here on Talk Sport. The floodlights on, the G-Tech Community Stadium full. I can't see an empty red seat anywhere, and with the rain still tumbling down, we are waiting for the referee to blow his whistle and get this game underway. I can see Marco Silva sat just a few rows in front of us on the near side touchline. Our commentary position very close to the edge of the pitch. It's nice and tight and compact, these surroundings here, and it really does, despite being a world away from the terraces of Griffin Park, manage to retain its atmosphere.
It does. You see a few yellow seats, Joe. You know what that means? that it worked. AIDS theory worked. The yellow seats you thought were people.
See, it's proof, isn't it?
I can see about 6, but I take your point. So it's great atmosphere, isn't it?
It really is a unique design, Danny.
Yeah,
that is proof of it.
Yeah.
We are off and underway. Fulham from right to left, so they're playing towards the west end of the ground, and Brentford from left to right, near to where the Fulham supporters are housed, 1,700 of them, and Fulham with an early throw on the far side there, right. Kenny Tete will shuffle it forward towards Alexander Mitrovic, but it's smuggled upfield by Norgard. Brentford fans want a free kick for what they felt was a foul on Toney, and in the end they get it from the referee 5 yards shy of the halfway line. Anthony Taylor is the man in the middle tonight, and you can already see, I mean, we mentioned the ball zipping off the surface just a few moments ago. Norgard lunged in for that challenge, firm but fair. I think particularly given that it's a derby, Danny, there's going to be some pretty tasty 50-50s tonight.
I hope so, yeah. We always like to see that, the tenacity of a derby, but I also hope the officials let the game roll as much as they can, let it go, so we can see a good rhythm to the game, good flow.
Brentford have a throw, far side of the field, led with the edge of the 18-yard box, and indeed they've sent both Pinnock and me forward for this. Matthias Jensen has wiped the ball down with his red and white shirt. He's got options short and square. Damsgaard is in close attention, just a second Premier League start of the season for him tonight, and Damsgaard on the ball, midway inside the Fulham half, high ball into the penalty area. Me was jumping for it, but Tim Ream heads clear through a crowd. Tim Ream, 35 these days, but a mainstay in the Fulham back line. And whilst that wasn't a a free kick or a corner. We know the threat that both these sides possess from set pieces, and that's another thing, Danny, that's likely to be crucial tonight.
Yeah, well, I was talking with Aid earlier about the Liverpool game when we were here live to do the game, and they were absolutely outstanding on set plays, caused Liverpool so many problems.
Monday Night Football on Talk Sport, 0-0. Tony, edge of the D, shoots left-footed. What a good save by Leno, plunging to his right-hand side because that had real power behind it, and he saw it through a crowd of bodies. Ball has stayed in play. Jensen's reverse cross, diving header away by Ream, high up to the halfway line. Big right hand from Bernd Leno there.
Good effort from Tony on his left foot, cutting inside, coming in from the right-hand side on his left foot, had a swing. It's a giveaway from Pereira. It's a good effort from Tony. It's a save he should make. It's a comfortable save in the end. Would have been disappointed if that had gone in, but yeah, decent effort from Tony early on. Test the keeper, why not?
6 goals in his last 8 Premier League appearances for Ivan Toney. The rain gets heavier at the G-Tech Community Stadium. There was a thriller between these two last time they met earlier in the Premier League season in August. Fulham won it by 3-2, and 0-0 here with 3 minutes gone, but Brentford have made the better start. They win a free kick on the halfway line, far side their left. Lots of nearby flats in the distance. You can probably watch a game from the top floor as Jensen scoops the ball high down the left-hand touchline. Early ball in, and Bono puts it wide inside the 6-yard box. It was a free kick routine that completely caught out Fulham. Henry played it right across the face of goal, and Bono, who was point-blank range, 3 yards out, should have scored. Over the top it went.
Well, it's a brilliant set play. Whether he's on or off, we'd have had to see that later, but what a ball from Henry on the volley from the left, back post. It's an easy tap in for Mbeumo. Oh, that is a poor miss. I think they might have been offside though. I think Henry might have been offside, but irrelevant. It was still really innovative. Fulham have got to switch on. This is a perfect example, the start of a game where your concentration isn't right, you'll get done.
Fulham, Danny Murphy's former side, long ball up the middle towards Toney again, but Bernd Leno, all in blue, is out to claim on the edge of his 18-yard box. It's a Brentford side that have made so many great strides since last season, 12 points better off than at this stage last year, and of course Fulham were battling to win promotion from the Championship this time last season. They did that in style as champions, and they have excelled in their first season back, but they're under pressure in the early stages here as Sasa Lukic, the giant Serbian at the middle of midfield, hooks the ball up to the halfway line, but Brentford are back on the attack, and Burmo plays it in low, and a good stop by Leno with his legs this time, and Burmo got the wrong side of Robinson inside the penalty area. The angle was tight. Leno makes another good save. It's all Brentford, and Burmo crosses from the right, headed away by Ream. Fulham under siege. Brentford 0, Fulham 0, and Brentford coming forward again. Damsgaard's pass intercepted by Robinson, but now it's reached Hickey, right edge of the box. Dangerous cross, cleared away by Ream again. Solomon gets a touch. Brentford corner. The way things are going, a Brentford goal is coming. Danny Murphy.
Yeah, it's brilliant play from Brentford. So on the front foot. Super little pass, I think, from Damsgaard. And Mbeumo beats Robinson with his pace. Good save again from Leno. Should be a goal up. Should be a goal up. Saves it with his right foot.
Could be 2 up. Easily. Corner to Brentford. Near side of the field. Jensen, the number 8, will take it. Fulham with everybody back, and Brentford have sent everybody forward. Everybody forward. And now finally 2 or 3 of them retreat to the edge of the box. It's a well-rehearsed set-piece routine. Jensen, right-footed out swinging, Ben Mee underneath it, headed away by Alexander Mitrovic, comes out to Hickey on the edge of the box, spins, turns, left-footed shot is skewed, Pinnock on the rebound, deflected in! Brentford lead! 5.5 minutes into the West London derby. Ethan Pinnock, via a big deflection, has given the Bees a deserved lead. They are on a roll at the moment in the Premier League. Brentford 1, Fulham 0, no more than Brentford deserve.
Just relentless from Brentford. Corner comes in, Mitrovic clears the lines, they keep working the ball, miss it cross really, ball comes to Pinnock, has a swing at it because there's no one pressing the ball, deflects off Ream into the bottom corner, but they've deserved it. Fulham have not been at the races. A really poor start to a game from Fulham. Not winning tackles, not playing any long balls. Really bad start. That's just a mentality problem, that.
They haven't played a pass yet in the game, Danny. And Ethan Pinnock celebrates a first Brentford goal since September of 2021 when he scored in a thriller here against Liverpool. There's a red flare that's been thrown onto the pitch after the goal, and it's sitting almost by the penalty spot away to the left in front of the Brentford goalkeeper David Raya. I don't think Raya's had a touch yet, by the way, but there is a lot of red smoke coming out of that flare, and well, it's going to have to be cleared off the field eventually. They're letting the smoke dissipate away, but that's why the restart has been delayed. Marco Silva down on the near side touchline speaking to the fourth official, not sure what about. The two dugouts are just a couple of yards from each other. I can see Thomas Frank, the Brentford boss, there as well. But it's a goal for Brentford that has come after relentless pressure early on. Live and exclusive here on TalkSport.
There's nobody near him. I mean, Marco Silva must be absolutely fuming, because this ain't about quality, this ain't about tactical plan, this is just about mentality. To start a game so poorly against the Brentford side, who you know are going to come at you, you know they're going to come.
Well, the flare has been cleared and the smoke is still dissipating beneath the West London skies. Fulham get the game back underway. A goal down, a Ream straight out to play from the kickoff, and Fulham, they're playing like they're still in the dressing room at the moment.
They are. They're rattled.
And Brentford are all over them like a rash, and it is worth saying, isn't it, Danny, that Fulham had the FA Cup tie last Tuesday. It's been a couple of weeks without a game for Brentford, and you feel like they're ready to come out of the traps. They're really raring to go.
Yeah, but that's no excuse for Fulham. It is good from Brentford, you're right, but some of the stuff's really basic from Fulham.
Ethan Pinnock's deflected goal has given Brentford the lead. Bernd Leno, the Fulham goalkeeper, with a hurried clearance. High left-footed towards the near side touchline. It's controlled by Mitrovic, who spins away from Pinnock. Mitrovic with the orange boots on. His 200th appearance for Fulham tonight. And now Tete will cross the halfway line and dart into opposition territory. You're with TalkSport. Willian with the curly hair and the gloves on, finding Tete on the overlap. Tete's lofted cross. Mitrovic far post. It's his kind of ball in. Headed away by Ben Mee after Mitrovic got a half touch to it. Now it's come back to Robinson. 25 yards out left of centre. Finds Manos Solomon, who's scored in each of his last 4 games. Solomon's deflected cross spins him off the turf, and it's easy for the ever dependable David Raya.
Better from Fulham. Got the ball into Mitrovic, held it up, switched the play. Tete and Robinson are key to this Fulham side. They're both willing to get forward. They're both good attacking players, and they're both able to get they're both able to run back with their fitness and their legs that they have in this side to do the job as fullback. But they are key in terms of the way Fulham attack at times to give them the width.
And what a frenetic start to this game. Brentford with such great energy and vigour, and the home supporters really responding to that, particularly those behind the goal to the left, who've got their red and white scarves up into the air and they're belting out Brentford songs. Brentford have it with Tony 10 yards into the Fulham half, fouled, tripped by Harrison Reed, who is one of Fulham's most consistent performers usually, and another free kick to Brentford, which Tony chips high down the inside right channel, and Burma controls inside the penalty area. Visser waiting for a potential cross. He's going away from goal here in Burmo, back to Aaron Hickey, takes a touch, nobody going towards Hickey. He's darted into the box, clips in a delivery when it's a poor one over the top, but Fulham let him run at them, and Hickey, well, usually you'd expect him to make more of that.
Well, Marco Silva's not happy in front of us for obvious reasons. It's been a lacklustre start for them.
He's only a few yards away in his dark suit and his black puffer jacket on. Marco Silva, hands in pockets, the Fulham boss, who's been so impressive himself this year. Real redemption at Premier League level certainly for him. But on the night, Brentford 1, Fulham 0, and Brentford, well, really it could be even more than that, as Ream clatters the ball long upfield towards Mitrovic, but a touch from Pinnock into the path of Pereira. Pereira drives the ball over the halfway line. It's intercepted by Rico Henry for Brentford, who's quick on the uptake, darts into the Fulham half. Reed got a tackle in, sliding in was Tete. Willian on the counter, bursting forward, crossfield ball right to left. Here is Solomon, 25 yards out, edge of the box to Mitrovic, plays it backwards, interception by Visser, so he will send it back to David Raya.
So lucky, little 1-2 tried with Mitrovic there, it was the right thing. Poor layoff from Mitrovic. Solomon coming in off that left hand side, looking for a little give and go on the edge of the box to get his shot off. A little bit better from Fulham.
TalkSport has full commentary of Chelsea against Borussia Dortmund tomorrow night in the Champions League, and of course tomorrow morning from 6 Laura Woods and Annie McCoy's back with TalkSport Breakfast for all the reaction to tonight's football, all the build-up to tomorrow's. That's tomorrow from 6 a.m. Here is Tete for Fulham, finally enjoying a spell of possession. A square ball to Ream at the lip of the centre circle, on to Mitrovic. First time pass, gets it back from Pereira, smuggled away by Norgard, the Brentford captain. And now Tony will knock it on to Damsgaard. Great footed pass up the middle towards Visser. Covering his Tete, did well in a foot race to send it back to his goalkeeper.
Great play from Tete, isn't it? Good break from Brentford, by the way. Trying to get Visser in on that left-hand side. Tete's pace. I mean, I watched him recently as I've seen him a few times, but I think it was Chelsea away game where he was absolutely outstanding.
They were superb that night, Fulham, in a goalless draw at Stamford Bridge. Robinson crossing for them from the left. It's cleared away only as far as Pereira, beaten to it by Jensen with the white boots on, and he can only find Ream with the pass. A breathless first 12 and a half minutes on the Monday Night Football. Brentford lead Fulham by 1-0. And as well as the Champions League, we've got Europa League action for you on Thursday. Arsenal away at Sporting Lisbon, and then game day returns at the weekend. With Bournemouth, Liverpool among our commentaries. There's a foul on Ivan Toney on the halfway line, and the Brentford fans not happy, and Diop is going to get called over by the referee here, because that's the second or third time Danny Murphy tonight.
Well, I'm not sure really he'd done much wrong. We're able to see the replay. Yep. Tony's played the ball back, he's done a little spin, and Diop hasn't actually moved. He doesn't have to move. And Tony's gone down a bit easy because he didn't fancy running after that.
Gets a talking to, does the big defender.
No, wasn't it? There was nothing in there, didn't deserve a talking to.
A free kick on the halfway line for Brentford. Ben Mee will take it. Rolls it square to his right, and Hickey on the halfway line. Hickey forward to Mbermo, nudges it further forward 10 yards, and hugging the touchline is Damsgaard, the near side to Brentford right. Manor Solomon, who has been so outstanding off the bench for Fulham in recent times, and has scored against Leeds in the FA Cup last Tuesday as well. And that was from the start, but this is his first Premier League start this evening. Tony's little flick up the right-hand touchline, steered up into the air by Robinson on the volley. Not the best of clearances. Drops down for Jensen, 25 yards from goal. We've seen Brentford make fast starts at home this season. They're making another one tonight. Jensen goes down, and Anthony Taylor was in a good position to award the free kick, which he has done. Dead centre and very much within shooting range. How much contact was there, Danny, really?
It's not a free kick. It's a poor decision from the referee. He did accidentally catch him in the face, by the way. He's not Jensen on the floor. He's not feigning that, but there was not enough contact for a free kick. It's a poor decision from the ref. Now they'll have to defend this and stop moaning about it and get on with it, but it's a bad one. It's a bad decision.
Mitrovic protesting, and Reed sort of just glides across in front of Jensen.
Yeah, there's nothing in it.
Yeah, there's barely any contact, as you say, Danny, apart from the accidental touch onto the face of Jensen. He's being treated now by the two Brentford physios, but the free kick, when it is to be taken, as I say, very much in shooting range for Brentford. And I saw Rico Henry come across, always an option from the left-footed angle with a set play.
Well, it's so central, either foot really. Whoever's more comfortable, you can whip it both ways, right or left foot, from when you're inside that central area for a free kick.
I'll tell you what, Damsgaard might fancy this, having scored against England at the Euros July of 2021, long time ago. Jensen helped to his feet. Brentford 1, Fulham 0 on TalkSport with Now Sports. Don't forget, with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action, like Brentford against Fulham, live right now for $11.99. No contract, and search Now Sports.
I've always wondered when I see someone get hit in the face why their legs stop working. Honestly, I've always found it baffling. I understand the initial falling over maybe because of a shock or losing balance, but then you get up and you get treatment while you're standing up, don't you? Why would you keep your head near the dirt if you've got, I don't get it.
Things seem to have changed, Danny.
No.
Well, he's going to be back on his feet in a second. He's off the pitch at the moment, Jensen, but they'll be temporarily down to 10, and they're going to take this free kick, and it is Damsgaard and Tony and Mbermo who can hit them, all standing over it. The angle, as you say, Danny, is potentially right for
it's either
Mbermo or Damsgaard. It's pretty much dead centre, a yard from the edge of the D. 1-0 to Brentford in the 17th minute. Fulham under real pressure here, and Burmo left-footed curler, just wide of goal. It looked like it may have even kissed the post on its way behind. It was very close.
Nice technique. Really nice technique. Did kiss the post, you're right. Great spot. It's a good jump from the wall. When a wall jumps in at the right time and he still gets it over with the dip, it shows you how good it was technically. Really nice free kick. Desperately unlucky.
We've seen Brentford are capable of blitzing teams in the first halves of matches here this season. They've only lost once in the Premier League at the G-Tech Community Stadium to date this season.
They brought it on themselves, Fulham. It's a bizarre scenario when you're coming to a place like Brentford. You know what you're getting. Don't play short, play the ball long, use Mitrovic.
Well, the referee's going to come across and talk to Marco Silva here, who has maybe had a little too much to say for himself. His assistant Luis Boamorte just behind him, and the body language from Anthony Taylor was almost like that's a final warning, and Marco Silva's laughing, Danny.
Well, you don't need to see it. We don't want to see referees having to come over and speak to managers. I understand his frustration because they could be 2-0 down because of a bad decision on a free kick.
Headed by Damsgaard on the halfway line. It's flicked away by Harrison Reed, up over his shoulder into Brentford territory. That's a back pass that's almost got caught on the sodden turf there from Hickey, and Raya had to race forward to clear it away. And now Brentford are on the counter with the pace of Henry that was so crucial in an early missed chance from Burmo, and Visser's done well to win a throw off. It's a Diop down on that far side, the Brentford left in front of that single-tiered north stand of the ground, and it's a throw that is about level with the edge of the 18-yard area, and Jensen has come forward to take it in again. Here come the Brentford centre-halves. Pinnock, the goal scorer, among those forward. Throw by Jensen down towards the dead ball line. He gets it back from Burmo. Fulham with everybody back behind the ball. Tackle from Mitrovic deep inside his own half, and Mitrovic will hammer the ball clear, high and long, chips it carefully up towards halfway. Nobody really there as an outlet. Headed away by Pinnock, and then fouled by Visser. Fulham free kick.
I'll tell you what Brentford do is they make you lose rhythm. They don't let you gain any rhythm in a game. They stop-start a lot. They take their time on the throw-ins and the free kicks. Stoke used to do it brilliantly under Tony Pulis. They'd stop you gaining momentum in a game. Keep turning you round, keep pushing you back. Really clever.
Danny Murphy with us for commentary tonight on TalkSport, the Monday Night Football. Danny formerly of Fulham, of course, and Liverpool and Charlton. There's a throw to Fulham, deep inside Brentford territory, far side there right, and Kenny Tete will come forward to take it. He's got options square and maybe behind him. Tete's got Willian making a run, and Reed is there too, infield towards Harrison Reed, who jogs the ball over the shoulder of the Brentford man Jensen. It all comes to nothing because Henry's there to hammer it off the back of Willian, and out of play for a goal kick to Brentford. And Danny, we've seen them do this to Liverpool this season, seen them do it to Manchester United famously earlier in the campaign, and then with the crowd behind them as well, there's a real verve and confidence about this Brentford team.
Yeah, you've got to give them respect. You've got to come here and play percentages early on in the game. Slow it down yourself, play long balls. You've got a big striker who can hold the ball up, get some runners.
And now it's an opportunity for Jensen to burst up the middle. He couldn't set Visser away though. An interception from Lukic tracking back for Fulham, who do look vulnerable to this Brentford attack every time Brentford come forward, and they're hardly seeing the ball in that middle portion of the park. Pereira, so often a creative influence, hasn't had many touches, but it's Solomon who's driving forward after a good interception by Robinson. Solomon from the midway point of the Brentford half plays it wide to the right, and Willian, corner of the penalty area. He's got Tete on the overlap. Willian holds it up well, and Brentford have got plenty back behind the ball to defend. Tete back towards Lukic. Yes. Lukic between two in red and white. Lukic glides up towards the edge of the box. Backwards to Pereira with the gloves on. Faced up by another sea of Brentford defenders. Works it wide on the angle to the far side, and Willian. Now Kenny Tete with just a little time to put in a cross, but not as much time as I think he thought he had. Visser was there to charge it down. Fulham have it back in the centre circle, and this is better from Fulham. 21 minutes into the game and a goal down. Lukic midway inside the Brentford half.
The way Brentford play means that Fulham, when they attack, do look dangerous because they throw men forward like this.
Willian skip past the defender to cross in right-footed. Good header away by Ben Mee, who's been such an outstanding Brentford signing since arriving from Burnley in the summer. And Fulham's Kenny Tete will now get to take a throw on the far side there right. Fulham easing their way into this match, and we've seen some super football from Fulham across the course of this season, and they start the night 6 points off the top 4, which is a remarkable testament really to how well they've done. And it is easy to forget they were in the Championship last season.
It's a phenomenal season, absolutely tremendous, so many ways. And this is exactly what they need to do tonight. Don't get bored of passing it, don't get bored of keeping it. Don't have to force it.
Down the right, back out to Reed. And Reed teases it back 10 yards to Kenny Tete. Tete hangs up a high cross. It's skimmed off the head of Pinnock, who got just enough on it. 6'4", and really had to rise there to flick it away. And Fulham have got a throw on the near side there left. And it's a more even game now, midway into the first half. But you can't afford to start matches the way that Fulham did.
No.
Not in the Premier League. Mitrovic back to goal. Will he try and stroke it? He's past Pinnock. He can't get the shot away. Solomon from a very tight angle down by the dead ball line. Forced away from goal. Back to Robinson. Robinson clips it across. It's blocked. Brentford defending very diligently there, having just lost concentration for a second, and it looked like Mitrovic, who is on a run of 7 appearances without a goal, was going to be able to burst through the middle. Solomon with that long-sleeved shirt on, a change kit tonight for Fulham. It's a sort of turquoise colour. Now Pereira on the halfway line. Tete out wide on the far side, the Fulham right. On to Willian. Brentford are suddenly having to spend a lot of time without the ball. Lovely skill by Willian. Great feet. Drills in a low cross near post. Cut out by Jensen in front of the goalkeeper. Not sure that Raya was expecting that. Brentford with a throw, but Willian, he's been such a good signing, hasn't he, Danny Murphy?
He's rolling back the years, isn't he? With his hunger for the game, his skill, his speed. He looks tremendous. He's a breath of fresh air.
Lovely quick feet from Willian. Thomas Frank is taking notes. Just a few feet away from our commentary position here. Thomas Frank, who's a long-time assistant Brian Reamer, left Brentford in December to join Anderlecht, but Brentford have obviously kept their fantastic form in the Premier League going, and they lead here tonight by 1-0. Here's Ream on the halfway line, the American. Ream with a ball out to the left, and Robinson 10 yards into the Brentford half. Forward now to Pereira. Pereira watched all the way by Pinnock, smuggled forward by Damsgaard. Good interception by Ream to get to that in front of Johan Visser.
It's a good spell for Fulham. We're in control of the game, passing the ball well.
And now Reed, the diminutive number 6, will play it on to Willian again. Willian seeing a lot of the ball in the last few minutes, driving in field. Now, was that a trip by Tony? No, a dive, says the referee, and a yellow card for Willian. Interesting to see that one again, Danny, on the monitor. Willian skips in field.
Well, there's contact, so he can't book him. I mean, he's gone down too easily, there's no doubt, but Tony stuck his arm into his rib, so how he feels he can book him, I don't know. He doesn't have to give a free kick if he's gone down too easy, not a problem, but he shouldn't be getting a yellow card out.
Stuart Gray and Luis Burmorse are protesting. The Fulham assistant speaking to the 4th official. Marco Silva is still sitting down, but his mood won't have been helped by that decision from the referee. He was in a great place to see it, about 5 yards away.
You might see it. You can't, when someone's had contact, say that it wasn't enough to go down. You can't determine that. You can determine, nice play. You can determine whether you give a yellow or not. You can't give a yellow when there's been contact.
A nice play was from Solomon, and the ball sticking to his feet like glue. He skillfully evaded 3 in the red and white of Brentford. A 1 Fulham, a free kick on the halfway line. They're starting to get those flair players into the game, Fulham. It's 1-0 to Brentford though in the West London derby, the second West London derby, such West London derby to be played in the Premier League, and Reed has now rattled the ball off the shins of Ben Mee, and that will be a throw to Fulham, I think, right down by the corner flag on the far side, a long way from where we're watching. This new ground, the G-Tech, still relatively new, not far from where the old Griffin Park was. Long throw into the penalty area for Fulham. It's flicked into the box further by Solomon, but headed away by Mbermo for Brentford. It's come back to Solomon, the number 11 on the near side, the left. He plays a pass infield to Mitrovic, 30 yards from goal. Mitrovic helps it wide to Willian, who's got plenty of space to take on Rico Henry as Fulham seek an equaliser. Tete with a cross into the box, headed away by Ben Mee, and then a thumping header downfield by Diop, and Reed has got to it from the dead ball line, pulls it back. Good defending by Mee again to stand up and block it. Jensen clears long over the halfway line. Tony with a clever flick with his backside to nearly find Johan Visser.
Yeah, it was nice. Just before that though, Reed finds himself in good position too often and doesn't produce anything. It's a great ball inside right. He gets in on the right hand side. He's just got to pick a man out. It's a nothing cross. Poor. But lovely bit of skill from Tony, wasn't it, on the breakaway?
Well, improvisation, I think, Danny.
Yeah.
And that's got the Brentford fans chanting his name. That's a good game, this. And now it's much more like the contest that we probably expected. Brentford blew Fulham away early on, but now it feels like a closely fought derby match.
Yeah, they've composed themselves, haven't they? They're playing their football, they're working the ball, they're being patient.
There's two good footballing sides, you have to say. Lukic 10 yards from the corner of the penalty area. We saw him play at the World Cup for Serbia. And now Diop on the halfway line for Fulham Square to the skipper, Tim Reed. A couple of Fulham subs are just heading out to warm up. Decordova Reed has just come back, and I can see Harry Wilson down below us as well. Mitrovic trying to smuggle it through towards Pereira on the edge of the D, but Ethan Pinnock, the Brentford goal scorer, is there, and it's Ben Mee with the back pass to David Raya. All in yellow, the goalkeeper clears high and long upfield, header away by Diop.
I think these Brentford fans think you're not allowed to challenge Ivan Toney. Well, you go near him, they're shouting for something.
It's very special to them.
I know. I understand why, but you are allowed to jump and challenge him without it being a foul.
Here is Tony playing it through the middle towards Visser, but that is overhit, and through it goes to Leno. They've got such pace on the attack, haven't they, Brentford?
Yeah.
Both wings, actually, particularly the left, when you look at Henry and Visser. And Mitrovic dropping very deep for Fulham to the halfway line. Crossfield ball angled right to left, and it's held up nicely for Robinson to cross. Drills it in low towards the edge of the penalty area, smuggled away by Damsgaard. High towards the halfway line. Television cameras here tonight, a couple right by Thomas Frank on the halfway line. Exclusive to national radio, this game live on Talk Sports. Will be at Stamford Bridge elsewhere in West London tomorrow night for Chelsea's huge game in the Champions League against Borussia Dortmund, or the build-up to that from 6 a.m. tomorrow morning with Laura Woods and Ali McCoist on Talk Sport Breakfast. David James, the former England goalkeeper, will be among the guests tomorrow morning, and if you fancy something different on your commute, Chris Evans has the Virgin Radio Breakfast Show every weekday from 6:30. Marco Silva urging his Fulham players to push forward as Raya, the Brentford goalkeeper, drives it long again. A header downfield by Tete, and then an aimless pass by Tony through the middle. Diop, well, it held up in front of him there, and the surface is very wet, and that's happened a couple of times today.
Yeah, he did all right with it in the end. Got to be careful with the bounce on this wet surface.
Had that back pass early, didn't we, from a Brentford player that almost stuck on the floor. Lovely play by Fulham as Reed will thread it left to the feet of Pereira. Pereira's got possession inside left channel, clips in a high cross deep to the far post. It's over the head of Mitrovic, but Willian will reach the loose ball with ease. Right hand edge of the penalty area, back to Kenny Tete to flick in the delivery, and well, nobody
unlucky
shirt anywhere near.
It's unlucky again. It's good breakaway, good build. They're getting in good areas now. Tete, we know, is a better crosser than that, but if they keep getting in those areas, it's going to be beneficial. They're causing Brentford real problems now. Really grown into the game. It's not transferring to chances, but getting in these type of areas in the final third where you're getting free crosses into the box.
They've certainly found a foothold. And tonight they seek a first league double over Brentford since 1948. A goal down though, Fulham, and a foul on Mitrovic, and a free kick midway inside Brentford territory.
Lukic looks comfortable in the holding role as well. He's got plenty of the ball. He played a bit further forward against Leeds in the cup game and was ineffective really, so he's obviously more suited to this deeper role.
A tall, slender presence. No João Palhinha for Fulham tonight, remember. Starting the first of a 2-game ban for picking up 10 yellow cards. Here is Robinson steering it left to Solomon. Fulham combining well on both flanks at the moment, and Robinson has got it again, 5 yards from the dead ball line. A deflected cross spirals up into the air. It's nodded away by Pinnock, and then that looked like a shove in the back from Robinson on Hickey, and a free kick given by Anthony Taylor, albeit I think the Brentford fans behind the goal, and they're almost all on their feet, the thousands of Brentford supporters at the west end of the stadium, they wanted a free kick earlier in the move.
No, it was an offside they were claiming for Robinson before he crossed it, but obviously there's no need to get too wound up about that, because if the ball ends up in the back of net and he is offside, we're going to find out anyway, aren't we? Chill out, you're winning.
It's like being a football fan, Danny.
Relax.
Can you ever relax in the Premier League?
No.
Doesn't feel like it, does it? It's been a great Monday night football so far, and TalkSport will bring you all the big Monday night football over the course of the season. Robinson scoops the ball long for Fulham, and it's headed away by Pinnock in front of Mitrovic. That could be one of the defining battles of this game. Ream sliding it forward to Pereira. Lovely pass, well controlled by Pereira. Lining up the near side channel. Further wide is Solomon. And Solomon trying to evade Damsgaard. He's somehow done just that. Solomon, such a low centre of gravity, and he keeps the ball so effectively. Now Pereira down by the corner flag. A right-footed in-swinging cross. Headed away by Pinnock up towards the centre circle. But well, if it was all Brentford in the early stages, it's all Fulham now. The only thing missing, as you alluded to, Danny, from your old club, is creating that big chance.
I wouldn't be concerned about that right now. I'd be concerned about keeping the ball, keeping Brentford running, making them work, and keep getting in those dangerous areas. Because if you keep doing that, you expect chances to come. But controlling the game is key for Fulham at the moment.
Little ball tucked down the right by Reed to find Mitrovic, angled tight as he crosses from the right on his left foot. A header away by Mee through a crowd. Brentford can't get hold of it at the moment, and Thomas Frank is watching on a little nervously from the edge of his technical area. Reed has got it again down that Fulham right. It's played back to Kenny Tete. Pass from Fulham, and it's good slick stuff. Lukic back towards Ream. Ream angles it to the left-hand channel, and Robinson's got it level with the edge of the 18-yard box. That pass in third was a bit overhit, and Damsgaard able to retreat and win it back. And then it's scooped long by Norgard, and Visser, well, he should be beaten to this by Tete. Fouled by Visser on Tete anyway, but it wasn't the best ball forward.
I think he's going to make a substitute. Well, he's going to get the subs warming up early, because he's not happy with what he's watching at the moment. He's talking to the subs, Thomas Frank.
Well, you're right, he is. And
in detail, great detail.
So do you think a change, before half-time, potentially?
Maybe he's talking about what he's going to do at half-time, because he's not happy with how they've lost control of the game.
Plenty of options on both benches tonight. As Tony tries to steer the ball into the path of Mbeumo, it could break for Damsgaard. Slide tackle by Lukic, didn't get to the ball. That's a foul, a yellow card, and a free kick 25 yards out. A shade left of centre in a very dangerous position for Brentford.
Yeah, it's a foul. It's popped up in some good areas, Damsgaard, I should say.
Well,
I'm not sure why that's a yellow though.
Well, was he about to shoot? Could he got a shot away from that sort of position?
Well, he's on the floor with no danger to anyone, trying to make a genuine attempt. Maybe.
Only because of the distance to goal.
Yeah, maybe.
I wonder whether that's what Anthony Taylor was thinking. He's going to march the Fulham wall back the full 10 yards, and there's a cluster of Brentford players standing over it here. There are 6 of them. Who's going to strike it? Burma was so close a few moments ago.
Well, if I was him, I'd be demanding it, but it's not. Tony looks like Tony. The person who places the ball normally hits the ball, but he's already had a sighter, hasn't he, Mbeumo?
Well, Tony has indeed placed it, and he and Mbeumo stand just a couple of yards from the ball. 25 yards from goal. Brentford lead 1-0 in the 36th minute. Can they double their advantage here? Tony strikes it right-footed, and it hits the crossbar and goes over, and for the second time in the game, Brentford hit the woodwork from a free kick.
What an effort. So nonchalant with his technique. Look at the swerve and the dip on that ball.
Angle of post and bar.
Yep. He's about 25 yards out, just to the left a little bit. He's hit it to the far top right corner. It's a wonderful effort. Really amazing technique. The ball was moving all over the place.
Extraordinary power with a couple of steps onto it.
His technique's wonderful.
So twice Brentford denied by the woodwork in a game that has ebbed and flowed strangely. It's been very entertaining, and I'm amazed really that we've only had one goal. And I think for Thomas Frank, when you think about the chances that they had early in the game before taking the lead, he will feel his side could have scored 2 or 3 tonight.
I have to say, just watching Mitrovic a little bit, he doesn't look as sharp and as mobile as he did earlier in the season. I know he's had a couple of spells out of the team, but still a real threat and a presence up there. A little bit of sharpness maybe.
Well, he hasn't scored in 7 coming in 2 tonight, and so there may be something in that. He's certainly proved though that he can do it at Premier League level this season. I think there's no question about that. Here's Tete out on the right for Fulham. In a crossing position, delivers right-footed. Pereira's header cleared by Hickey. It wasn't goal-bound.
Got to score.
Come back towards Robinson, and there's a foul on Reed, and that's right on the edge of the D in a dead central position. And what's the referee going to do here? It's certainly a free kick to Fulham anyway. I think it was Damsgaard with the tackle on Reed.
Well, we talked a few minutes ago about getting into these areas, and Tete's putting in a much better ball this time because he's given oceans of space, and it's Pereira who... Yeah, it's a free kick on the edge of the box. That's correct decision. Damsgaard on Reed. But just before that, the Tete cross. It's Pereira and Mitrovic in there. Maybe they're getting each other's way. It's a good chance.
Well, Danny Murphy, you scored a fair few free kicks in your Premier League career. Now this one is it's pretty much dead centre, and it's almost right on the edge of the 18-yard box. So what does Pereira want to do here?
Well, I think you have to wait and see where the wall which side the keeper sets the wall up. The problem is because it's so close. This is central. It's probably a yard or 19 yards, 20 yards at the most. I think it's nearly impossible to get it over the wall and in if the wall jumps. So I think you've got to be cute here. Maybe under the wall, maybe smash it at the keeper.
No draft excluder. 1-0 down here, Fulham. Big deep breath from Andreas Pereira. Dead centre, edge of the 18-yard box. Ryan on his toes. Pereira drives it right-footed. He's hit the woodwork. Solomon heads in the rebound. Fulham are level. It's another goal for Manor Solomon. He's now scored in 5 successive games. It was a brilliant free kick from Pereira. Rattled off the woodwork. And there was Solomon, quick as a flash, to head home the rebound. And what a West London derby we have on our hands now on Talk Sport. Brentford 1, Fulham 1.
It's what they deserve. They deserve it. They've composed themselves. They've got themselves back in the game with good football. It's a brilliant free kick. He went to keeper's side, which is the safest thing to do, but he's hit it really well. And it's come off the joint where the post meets the bar. It's come across the goal. And who's first to knock it in with a little header from the 6-yard box? Solomon. Great anticipation, by the way. That's the little bit of luck you need sometimes in games, you know. It comes off the post and the bar where it joins, and it comes back to a Fulham player rather than a Brentford player. But their game, the way they've composed themselves, they deserve that. What a great 39 minutes.
Oh, I don't want the first half to end. Monday Night Football at its very best on Talk Sport. And the Fulham supporters, 1,700 of them, are really bouncing here and loving life. And as well, they might. It's been some game so far, and it's now Brentford 1, Fulham 1 on Talk Sport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. That free kick from Pereira, well, it deserved a goal in a sense, as Reed fouls Norgard, and it's a Jensen rather, and it's a free kick to Brentford midway inside the Fulham half. I thought the free kick from Pereira had got in for a second. It was hit with such power.
Beautiful. It had the bend and it had the power, and then you get that little bit of fortune that you need, of course. But yeah, it was the right decision to try and put the free kick there, I think.
A free kick to Brentford, midway inside the Fulham half, and it's in a central position where it's difficult for Jensen to find much angle here. They have sent Pinnock and Me forward, both lurking towards the left, and it's floated high towards that left-hand edge of the penalty area, flicked away by a retreating Kenny Tete. Now it's come down to Henry. 1-1 in the West London derby there. Another goal for Manor Solomon. Hooked high into the box by Jensen, header away by Robinson for Fulham, and now Solomon with his great pace can drive forward over on the halfway line and now beyond it on the counter-attack. He's run 50 yards, sets up Robinson on the overlap. Robinson flicks it across towards the penalty spot, and it very nearly reached Pereira, who got a touch on it, I think, but couldn't divert it into the path of Alexander Mitrovic, and it's suddenly Brentford who are under all sorts of pressure here.
Great break from Fulham. Nice counter down this left side with Solomon and Robinson. Did you see the ground Robinson made up to get there?
He's got pace as well.
Yeah, yeah.
And now Mbeumo's knocked it down the Brentford right for Tony, and suddenly it's end-to-end stuff at the G-Tech Community Stadium, and the atmosphere is rising again. It's the away fans you can hear for the most part at the moment in the northeast corner, sort of wedged into a corner of the ground. And there'll be a throw for Brentford in just a moment, which Jensen will take. It's going to be another long one into the penalty area, this, Danny.
Well, to be fair, they've had a couple of opportunities. He hasn't thrown one in yet. He's thrown them short, hasn't he?
Let's see if he does it again.
I think unless he's, yeah, here we go.
It is going to be a long one this time. Me and Pinnock are both on the edge of the 6-yard box. Jensen has taken several steps back and there's nobody short. Jensen does hurl this one in long towards Tony near post, and it bounced off Pinnock in the end, I think. Gone behind, and it's a corner that's been given by the referee. Well, at first glance I thought that hit Pinnock, but evidently not.
He doesn't know, the ref.
Was he waiting for his assistant?
Taking a guess, pointed at both, didn't he?
In the end, the assistant sort of flagged helpfully, vaguely helpfully. 2 minutes of the first half plus normal time to go. Brentford 1, Fulham 1. We'll give you the latest odds in just a moment, but a Brentford corner here, and Mbeumo standing over it. The left-footed in-swinging delivery. Remember, set piece is so good for both sides. Whipped in by Mbeumo, it came off Ben Mee, headed away by Tete to the edge of the Fulham box and away from danger. Willian is fouled. And
do you know what's really interesting on Brentford corners? They start with everybody in the box, so it looks like if Fulham have a breakaway they're going to be one-on-one. Before he takes it, two of them come to the edge of the box to protect the box, which is all on them. That's their little ploy, their little thing they're doing.
Yep.
I'd be surprised at half-time if Fulham don't get the players in and say, look, on their corners we're going to leave one up, or even two, and take a gamble and see what they do. Because that is a very risky way of setting up for a corner. And Fulham have got referees being a bit pedantic here, asking the keeper to go back, 3 yards, 2 yards? Brilliant. Clueless,
now,
honestly.
How does that add to the game? And
people wonder why they get stick. They wonder why they get stick when they just don't have a clue sometimes.
Well, as a player, that must be frustrating as well, right?
But I'd tell him. I wouldn't have to tell him, just say, help yourself, don't be silly.
Now, those latest odds, by the way, you can head to Ladbrokes. You can back Brentford to win at 11-8, Fulham at 29-10, the draw at 6-4. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com, 18+, thegambleaware.org. And that was a late tackle by Tony on Lukic. And the referee looks pretty calm as he comes across.
He knew what he's doing there.
Well, Lukic is still down. 3 added minutes in the first half, and you winced at that one, Danny.
Well, I need to see it again, maybe give him the benefit of the doubt. He knows what he's doing. It's a sending off.
He's gone over the top of the leg of Lukic.
Yeah, he knows what he's doing.
Has he caught his head with his studs as well?
Yeah, but that's how I used to tackle myself. You go through and you leave your straight leg, you leave it there. He knows exactly what he's doing. Trust me, I've played the game long enough. It's a red card.
Well,
they won't give it because they won't understand.
And we haven't got any confirmation that VAR's checking it.
It doesn't matter. I'm just telling you that it is because I know what he's doing. Tony, I love him. He's great. He's been brilliant first half, but that's a red card. So
is that a challenge with intent?
Yeah.
What's the ploy? Because he's not trying to hurt the opponent, but what's the purpose behind it?
The way you get away with saying I'm not trying to hurt an opponent is you always say the same line, I'm trying to protect myself.
Yeah.
So what you do with that tackle, the reason I know and I'm adamant is because that is exactly how I used to tackle. You come in and once you've missed, you leave your leg straight. So whatever hits your leg after it's gone straight is going to come off worse than yourself.
And I wonder if Luis Boamorte is making a similar point to the fourth official, and Mitrovic.
Well, he knows. Luis Boamorte, he knows. He's a tough lad. He's seen them tackles.
No sign of a VAR check on this, by the way. No sign of a VAR check. I mean, Lukic has slid in, and Tony has gone over the top of his leg, and he's caught his face with his studs, and you can actually see Lukic has got a cut on his cheek.
Yeah, the cut on the cheek isn't the problem, and that shouldn't be the defining reason why anyone gets a yellow or a red, because you can accidentally put your stud on someone's face. But when you go over the ball, when you go through the ball, not over the ball, when you go through the ball and you have a straight leg, he sees him, look, he's watching there.
Yep.
It's a red card all day, every day, twice on Sundays.
Lukic has temporarily gone off. He's going to be able to come back on. I think Adrian Durham is going to go mad over this in a minute. There was, as far as we can tell, no VAR check.
They will have checked it. They just don't. They've interpreted it as an accident. And all you've got to do is look at Tony's watching him as he comes. He knows exactly what he's going to do.
Free kick for Fulham, long into the box, headed away. It could come down here for Diop, hooked away from danger though by Damsgaard up to the halfway line. Lukic back on the field, and Brentford on the counter-attack, and Visser tripped by Lukic, who had just raced back on, and he's already been booked in the game, and he could be in trouble here, Sasa Lukic. Referee raced straight over, but he doesn't appear to be set to produce a second yellow card, though Brentford are certainly calling for it.
Well, I mean, we'd have to see it, but he seems confident, the ref.
Well, now I don't think either team's happy with the referee. Visser bursting forward. Now, is that a yellow card as Lukic comes across?
Yes.
It's a cynical foul, isn't it, Dan?
Yeah, it looks that way. I understand their frustration. I don't know why he's going in for the tackle there. I mean, it's a genuine attempt for the ball, is all you can say, but he's still stopped the attack, hasn't he?
Long from the free kick for Brentford. It's flicked off the head of Anthony Robinson. It's 1-1 in the West London derby, and a heck of a lot to talk about.
It's 1-1 in the grievances, and the sending off counts as well, isn't it?
It certainly is, and there could be more to come. And Adrian's going to get stuck into that at half-time. So stick with us. Don't go anywhere on Talk Sport. Me, corner of the penalty area for Brentford. Backwards to Henry.
Do you know all I can think? I think he's offside there.
Well, Visser's still got it. The attack goes on for Brentford. He's on the corner of the penalty area. Not much space to work an angle for a cross. We'll come back to Danny in a moment as Me delivers. It's away by Diop. Thumps it high. Is that going to go out of play? Yeah. It is, Danny.
I think maybe he wanted to give him the benefit of the doubt because he's just been booted in the face and he's just come back on the pitch trying to recover his position, and he's thinking, hold on, if I send him off, you know, I've just not punished the guy who's hurt him. He's running. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe that's where the thinking came from Anthony Taylor.
We've had 4 minutes of added time in the first half, one more than was initially allotted. As Henry goes crossfield and flick on by Me from the edge of the penalty area.
Also,
towards goal.
Sorry, it's important to say as well, he needs some help with that first one. We've had the courtesy, or the luxury, I should say, of watching it again a couple of times, so I can see that it's a red. But he needs some help with that. It happened really quickly, so he's allowed to miss that. You're allowed to miss the odd thing, of course you are, but that's what we've got the VAR for. If we're going to have it, you use it for clear and obvious, and they've missed one.
And VAR didn't think it was clear and obvious. Clearly.
No.
Here's Damsgaard for Brentford, square to Norgard, steers it on to Mbermo, edge of the D. Further wide is Rico Henry. Good football from Brentford. Henry's cross, headed away by Diop, high up into the air. Right at the end of the first half, it's 1-1. Touched on to Visser, and cleared away by Diop before Mbermo could get to it. Brentford still on the attack. Referee puts his whistle to his lips and calls time on a thrilling first half in the West London derby. Brentford 1, Fulham 1, and really the score doesn't even begin to tell you the story of the game. Brentford could have been 2 or 3 up by the time Ethan Pinnock did finally put them ahead. A deflected shot beyond Bernd Leno. They've hit the woodwork twice from free kicks, Brentford, since then, and Fulham's equaliser came from a free kick that was rattled off the crossbar by Andreas Pereira. There was Manuel Solomon to head home his 5th goal in as many games, and then before the end of the first half, 2 moments of controversy. Tony with a tackle on Lukic that went entirely unpunished, and then Lukic with a tackle on Visser as he was streaking up the middle. The referee elected not to produce a second yellow card. I don't think either team is happy with Anthony Taylor, but we are loving the action on Talk Sport, where it's Brentford 1, Fulham 1. And you'll never hear the word turquoise from me again after that dressing down. They are back out, the Fulham players, and so too are Brentford. And 1-1 in the first half, Danny, and well, I just hope the second half lives up to what we saw in that first 45, because it was so exciting.
It can't be that good. It was brilliant. It was really good. I tell you what, I am surprised at that Lukic is out.
Yeah, despite being on a yellow card.
No, I just think he's on thin ice, and I thought the manager might make a change.
No changes for either side at half-time. 1-1 the score. Beneath the floodlights here, Brentford get the second half underway. Playing from right to left, red and white striped shirts, black shorts and black socks, nearly headed by Tony to the edge of the Fulham penalty area. Comes down towards Henry, who threads it up there inside left channel. Visser crosses, gathered by Leno inside the 6-yard box. Leno, the Fulham goalkeeper. Fulham playing from left to right in that mint and navy coloured strip. And Fulham with Tete at right back, Robinson at left back. I'll break off for a moment because Solomon, the goal scorer, 5 in his last 5, is driving forward again. Good interception though by Mbermo, tracking back to win it back for Brentford. The two Fulham centre halves are Diop and Ream. Lukic and Reed sitting in front of them, with Pereira, Willian and Solomon in support of Alexander Mitrovic up front. It's finally poised at 1 apiece, and some of the Brentford fans still returning to their seats in the second half. It's pretty much full to its capacity of 17,000 or so, the G-Tech Community Stadium, as Diop slices the ball out of play, and it's a Brentford throw in the left-back position a minute into the second half. And here's Danny Murphy.
Yeah, it seems like at the moment it might change, but Tony's on the left wing and Wisser's gone through the middle, but we'll have to wait and see if that stays the same.
Henry goes in to win the ball back, firm but fair on Willian on the halfway line. It was a busy first half for the referee, Anthony Taylor. And now Hickey in the right back position for Brentford with a little bandage on his right wrist. It's steered infield by Mbermo, gets it back from Damsgaard, feeds Hickey back to the halfway line, and Damsgaard again. Maybe a surprise starter tonight, just his second start in the Premier League for Mikael Damsgaard, who was brought in for over £16 million last summer.
Nice, he showed some nice touches, he has.
And Mbermo's reverse ball down the right is good too to find Visser. Right hand edge of the penalty area. Visser, can he play it back towards Mbermo? Corner of the 18-yard box now. 1-1 the score. Cross swung in by Norgard, looping high. Henry's header, and there was no power behind it. Easy for Leno.
Good start again from Brentford. Tempo's up, energy's up, crowd's up. Fulham don't want to fall into the same trap as they did as the first half. It's a decent ball in. Henry at the back post, getting himself forward.
Not scored this season, Rico Henry. The last goal was in May of last year. And Fulham tonight looking for what would be a club record, a 6th Premier League away win of a single season. They've given it away though. Brentford have won it back. Edge of the box is Tony putting it through towards Jensen. Good interception that by Tete.
He's so good, this lad Tete. He's so calm in those defense. Look at him.
And now he's burst over the halfway line at terrific pace. He's run from his own penalty area up towards the edge of the Brentford box. What a run this is from Kenny Tete. Plays it on to Solomon. Solomon left hand edge of the penalty area, onto that right foot. Backwards it has to go to Robinson. He was crowded out. Robinson deflected, cross, Pereira! Wide, stretching with his right boot, but it was all made, as Danny said, by the run from back to front of Kenny Tete.
Well, end-to-end stuff, isn't it? Brentford nearly get in. It's great covering from Tete. He doesn't just cover, he brings the ball forward. A tremendous run, cuts across right to left. Ball end up with Solomon into the box, and Pereira misses a volley from 6 yards, 7 yards out. He'll be devastated with that because he's better than that.
Yes, perhaps could have done better, the former Manchester United man. But these two sides, these two West London clubs, proving that they are a big part of the Premier League this season, and they're here to stay. Brentford and Fulham, both still with European ambitions this season, and nobody would have thought that when the campaign got started. Here is Hickey for Brentford, down at the far side of the field, the right-hand channel in front of that single-tiered north stand, and he wins a throw. Jensen's going to go across to take it. This is going to go in long. Pinnock and Mee both forward, and those Brentford fans on their feet behind the goal. Jensen, no, he's not taken a couple of big steps back actually, so maybe he will go backwards towards Damsgaard, who's only about 10 yards away, or maybe square to a late runner towards the edge of the 18-yard line. No, he does take a couple of steps backwards, and this is going to be hurled in long towards a sea of red and white inside the penalty area. Fulham have got everybody back. It's long towards Tony, and Pinnock at the near post climbs, almost reaches Ben Mee, bouncing around in the penalty area. Penalty given by Anthony Taylor. A sea of bodies in front of Bernd Leno, and Anthony Taylor, eagle-eyed, spotted an offence. Hickey was down, and it's a penalty to Brentford in the 50th minute. Issa Diop, I think the man has been penalised for a foul on Norgard. Diop stretching, and he caught Norgard, who went to ground, didn't get to the ball, and that was enough for Anthony Taylor to say spot kick, Danny Murphy.
Yeah, he kicked him at the end of his toe. It's a bit of contact there. Certainly not going to be contact, silly. Just lashes at it, doesn't he? Only catches the end of his toe, but it's enough. I don't know what Diop's thinking, really. A bit more composure there.
Penalty decision looks like it will stand, and surely it will be Ivan Toney, although strangely it's Visser who has the ball in his hands at the moment.
Yeah, he's just doing that to protect Toney and protect the penalty spot.
Fulham trying to delay the taking of the kick as much as possible. Toney is still 5 yards or so from where Visser's holding the ball, right on these spots. The decision's been made by Anthony Taylor. It will be a penalty. Brentford 1, Fulham 1 on the Monday Night Football on TalkSport, and Ivan Toney, only one penalty miss in his entire career, and that was for Peterborough back in 2018. That aside, 26 out of 27, Toney has scored from the spot. Hands on hips, away to our left at the west end of the stadium, looking up towards the goal. Bernd Leno, the Fulham goalkeeper, all in blue, crouching on his line. The referee's just making sure that everybody's standing on the edge of the 18-yard box, and Brentford have made a fast start to the second period with a chance to regain the lead here.
He has the courage to watch the goalkeeper nearly till he kicks the ball. Not many players on the planet do that. Keeper has to stay central for as long as possible.
3 strides back, Ivan Toney. Legs step wide, it's going to be a right-footed effort from Brentford's main man. Referee's blown his whistle, it's a battle of wits here. Toney rolls it into the corner, beyond the dive of Bernd Leno. Ivan Toney, spot on yet again. Who else for Brentford? They are back in front. It's Brentford 2, Fulham 1.
Never looked like he was going to miss, did it? Super confident.
And just listen to the noise at the G-Tech Community Stadium. He just knows he's going to score.
It's actually not the best penalty he's ever hit, but it's enough in the corner. Yeah, close to keeper. He waited, he had to wait. Bad mistake from Fulham. Good start from the second half from Brentford, and Fulham find themselves behind again.
Almost nonchalant from Ivan Toney. Those 2-3 strides up to the ball, rolled just about enough into the corner. Leno went the right way, but he couldn't keep it out, and the Brentford fans now, it's their turn to celebrate wildly. The restart's been delayed again because of a flare behind the goal to the left-hand side, and Bernd Leno is appealing and looking at the referee and saying, well, I shouldn't have to put up with that. But either way, Brentford are back into the lead in front of 17,025 tonight. We've just had the attendance handed to us on a little sheet of paper. Still the red smoke coming out of that flare, and Leno has quite rightly come out of his goal. But Brentford have made that fast start, and they've got the lead that they wanted. It's 1-1 on TalkSport with Now Sports. Don't forget that with Now Sports you can stream all the Sky Sports action like Brentford against Fulham live right now for $11.99, no contract. Search Now Sports. And just let the game, the noise of the crowd, be your soundtrack here. We're still to get this restarted. I think the steward has cleared that flare away again, and Leno, arms outstretched, is going to trudge back towards his goal. But really, it's a shame that we have to have these delays. We've had them after both Brentford goals. Talk to me about the penalty itself, Danny, the lead up, the foul by Diop on Norgard, and the way that Tony, maybe it wasn't his best penalty, but when you're that good at them, and you took a few in your career as well and scored them at big venues, when you're that good, you must just have that innate confidence that you're always going to score.
He is a confident lad, you can see that the way he plays, but that technique means that if the keepers stay big for a long time and you're trying to watch where the keeper's going, if they don't move, it puts doubt in your mind. And too many keepers go too early, so he did well sticking it in the corner. He nearly got there, Leno.
Well, the game finally resumes. Fulham have it on the halfway line. Far to the left is Robinson. Up towards Solomon, back to goal. Now Lukic onto the feet of Robinson again. Steered a reverse pass infield by Pereira, but too much on it down the centre, and it's through to goalkeeper Raya, all in yellow. And there are Brentford fans not just behind the goal, but all around us. We're packed amongst them in the main stand, who are up on their feet, hopping up and down. We're only a few yards from the edge of the technical areas here, so we can see everything that's happening. It's a great vantage point, and you're right at the heart of the atmosphere, as always on Talk Sports. Chipped forward by Me up to the halfway line, a header by Tete for Fulham, taken up by Harrison Reed, right in front of his manager Marco Silva. Jensen got the tackle in, it hit Reed, out of play for a Brentford throw.
It's lively, isn't it?
Oh, and then some. The smell of that acrid smoke from the flare filling the air. Chelsea against Borussia Dortmund tomorrow night. Will stay in West London in the Champions League on Talk Sport. Thursday, Sporting Lisbon against Arsenal on Talk Sport 2, and game day back on Saturday. 2 Premier League commentaries. Bournemouth against Liverpool on Talk Sport at 12:30. Tottenham against Forest on Talk Sport 2 at 3, and of course Talk Sport breakfast back tomorrow from 6 o'clock in the morning with Laura Woods and Annie McCoist. You can have your say on tonight's proceedings tonight on the Sports Bar as well. 03717 223344 to speak to Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy once we're done tonight. Mitrovic trying to hold the ball up midway inside his own half. Damsgaard commits a foul on Lukic.
Mitrovic got to put himself about a bit more. He's got to get on his toes, start moving about a bit more. He can't just walk around because you've had a good season and not put the work in. Got to make some runs behind, come to feet, mix your game up a bit. Very static at the moment.
No sign of any imminent changes just yet, but certainly Fulham have got substitutes warming up on the near side touchline. The subs benches: Brentford, Baptiste, De Silva, Janssen, Ayer, Onyeka, Grosslov, Schade, Jan Elton, goalkeeper Cox. 2 goalkeepers on the Fulham bench, Rodak and Wickens. Also among the subs, Tosin, Wilson, James, Cedric, Deco-Reed, Vinicius, and the teenager Luke Harris. It's really noisy here at Brentford. They're going to be level on points with Brighton, who would stay above them in 8th as it stands, but they close the gap on Newcastle in 6th to just 3. It's going to be a really exciting end to the season for both these teams. And a couple of winnable away games to come for Brentford actually as well, at Everton and Southampton. West London derby noise in the air. The throw in field by Jensen to find Norgard, who hooks it on, and Leno came for it. Diop let it run across his body, which was risky, but the goalkeeper was there.
Yeah, he did well, Leno. Decent little ball in. Isn't it amazing to think how far Brentford have come from the lower leagues? And your sentence there, away games that they'll think they can win, Everton and Southampton.
It's a good point.
It's an incredible sentence, isn't it?
I remember watching a couple of Brentford games on the terraces at Griffin Park when they were League 2 club in the relatively recent past. Just goes to show, doesn't it, what proper thinking and good owners can do for a club. And Brentford and indeed Fulham are certainly proof of that. Lukic is midway inside his own half for Fulham, striding up towards the halfway line, looking for options, but Fulham don't have their fluency yet. Again, they've started the half slowly, Danny Murphy's old side. Solomon has it far side the left wing, back infield to Lukic. Lukic thought about pivoting to the right, but holds onto the ball, tries to dribble forward, square to Pereira. Brentford have everybody back behind the ball. Now Tete, outside right channel, drills in across, over the head of Mitrovic, decent delivery, away by Hickey, comes down towards Pereira to the D, looking for options, feeds Robinson. Hospital pass really, and it was Damsgaard sliding in to clear it away.
The problem is when the crosses are coming in from the right, which are good quality, there's only really Mitrovic in there. Solomon is not, I know he scored a header, but he's not going to be jumping over people on the back post, is he? Oh, Anthony.
Free kick to Brentford. Well, he's up against tonight, Danny, Mitrovic. He's up against me and Pinnock, who have a great record together and are two of the best aerial defenders.
They enjoy crosses coming in, don't they? That's why look. You've got to be saying to Pereira or Harrison Reed, make some runs in the box. Join Mitrovic. Give them somebody to mark, to run into a space, to move them out of a space. You know, it's just a bit predictable at the minute when they are getting wide. That there's only really that. I mean, Pereira, to be fair, did get in early in the second half, didn't he? And could have done better.
Mitrovic has just got a yellow card for complaining at the referee. I think Fulham felt, and Adrian spotted this, I think Fulham felt that Visser, now was he leaning with his elbow in a challenge with Willian, but I don't think there was actually much in it. Mitrovic not happy, and he can talk himself into a caution occasionally, Alexander Mitrovic, and he's done that there. 2-1 Brentford lead Fulham with an hour gone on TalkSport, and now the ball is out of play for a Fulham throw in the right back position. The crowd are so close to the pitch, they're almost a step away from the near side touchline. They can really see the whites of the eyes of the players, and the players, I'm sure, can hear a lot of what's being shouted. A real buzz about this place tonight.
It's absolutely bouncing, isn't it? I've been fortunate, actually. The two times I've been here, there's been
Liverpool
goal
here as well.
My two old teams both struggling. I mean, fortunate in terms of the atmosphere and the
exciting.
The excitement. Yeah.
Well, they are such a good side at home. And they've only lost one Premier League match here all season, Brentford, and that was to Arsenal back in September. So could be 9 Premier League unbeaten home matches tonight and 12 in the Premier League home and away. 12 unbeaten for Brentford.
It's incredible. Deserves so much credit. Do you know what Fulham are lacking is runners. They're lacking some runners to make some runs behind and turn them a little bit. Because Lukic is looking and there's no runners.
Fulham looking to preserve their own unbeaten run in all competitions. 7 coming into today. Pereira.
Now he's in.
Driving forward up to the halfway line. That's a lovely ball. Reed has taken a touch and played it on to Tete. Outside right channel for Fulham. He's got Willian further wide. And then with the edge of the 18-yard box, back it goes to Reed. Now Mitrovic is lurking in the penalty area. Reed elects to just dribble it cross-field into a central position. It slowed that play down really there.
No, but he's the midfield man. He should be looking forward. There's the ball. That's the ball.
Pereira left on edge of the box. He swings in the cross, and that's deflected behind, and it's a Fulham corner in front of those 1,700 away fans.
You've got to be brave when you're on the ball in midfield in games like this, away from home. You've got to be the one that takes responsibility. Say, I'm going to play the ball forward. I'm going to take a risk with the ball. I'm going to try and play inside fullbacks, in behind defenders, and make something happen. Don't keep passing the ball.
Fulham this season have scored even more goals from set plays than Brentford, 11 so far, and so often the delivery is key. Pelini is not in the side tonight, but Pereira is pretty good with the dead balls himself, you have to say. Pereira from the far side, he drifts it into the edge of the box, right-footed. Willian controls, right-hand edge of the penalty area. Not really got the angle to take a shot. He's held onto it here. Swings in a lovely cross and flicked away inside the 6-yard box. Mitrovic was ready to pounce. It's come back out to Manor Solomon. Back to the edge of the area. Harrison Reed. Now Lukic might size up a drive. He curls it, and it's over the top.
Unlucky. Ethan Pinnock, by the way, is one of the best centre-halves at defending crosses I've seen. Doesn't panic, moves his feet really well, sticks to the main target is obviously Mitrovic. He's always near him, but he moves his feet really nicely to get in control of where he's at with his jumps. So calm, brilliant.
Well, you're absolutely right, and the stats spell it out, because when me and Pinnock are on the field together, Brentford generally concede about half as many goals as they would without the two of them on the pitch. There's a clash of heads here, Tete and Vista, so here come the two physios. Well, it's finely poised, isn't it, Danny Murphy? What? Well, 2-1 to Brentford.
The game's pretty even. Fulham have had their moments, second half. It's one little moment of madness, wasn't it, from Diop, where he's kicked out and they've got a penalty and the 2-1 up. There's not much between the sides.
It's 2-1 to Brentford on TalkSport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. And those two players, Vissa and Tete, who clashed heads. Tete is still being treated here. Vissa's managed to get up to his feet. He should be okay. And he's mentioned TalkSport breakfast earlier, by the way. David James and Gus Poyet among our guests tomorrow morning from 6 with Laura Woods and Ali McCoist. And if you fancy something different on your weekday morning, Chris Evans has the Virgin Radio breakfast show every morning from 6:30. Sports Bar comes next once we're done here. 03717 223344. Now, Danny, I can see Brentford getting Vitali Janelt, who's always a dependable midfield performer, ready to come on. And so that would be their first change of the game, and he's just getting some final instructions here. Brentford with this advantage in the match, and it'd be very interesting to see who they might take off at this point, because the shape works so well for them.
Yeah, well, it has and it hasn't. They've had their moments, but it is an attacking formation. You've got Damsgaard playing as a 10, if you like, behind a front three. That's 4 attacking players. He might be wanting to get one more defensive-minded player on and maybe take Damsgaard off, or one of the front three, and just shore it up a little bit, which you'd understand.
Well, we'll keep a close eye on it. I wonder whether there may be
2 of them.
Yeah, more Brentford changes to come. Certainly Janelt is stripped and ready to go, and it's a long stoppage here while Kenny Tete continues to be treated.
He's alright.
Good to see him.
I have to say, the more I see of Tete, the more I like him. He's a terrific player, you know.
Got a good pedigree, Kenny Tete.
Calm.
A Dutchman who likes to get forward. And in some ways, I think, Danny, you'll know much more about this than me. Probably a player better, little doubt, better suited to he's better suited to the Premier League, though, isn't he, than the Championship? I think, with the way that he plays.
Yeah, well, good players are always suited to better levels. Yeah, but he's got that lovely mix, hasn't he, of physicality with technical ability. He likes to play, but he can hold his own. So yeah, I agree with you.
It's Sharda, the Brentford number 9, who's also getting ready to come on. Temporarily down to 10 here, Fulham. Now Tete's back on the field, so restored to their full complement of 11 players. Into the final quarter of this game, it's Brentford on the attack. And Mbeumo crosses, headed away by Ream. It was a lovely in-swinging left-footed ball from Mbeumo. Well dealt with by Ream, and then thumped clear, high up into the sky by Willian. And returned with interest by Ben Mee. Big cheers from the Brentford fans. Willian shy of halfway. Brentford heading for a West London derby victory as it stands, but still plenty of time to go in the match. They're going to bring on the 2 subs, Brentford, in pretty quick time, I think, now. Just some final instructions from Thomas Frank himself. Robinson out on the far side, the left, though, for Fulham, who are seeking an equaliser. Played back by Pereira to Robinson, infield to Reed. He's about 20 yards into the 15 yards into the Brentford half. Square to Diop. Diop, the tall defender, high-angled ball on the diagonal to Mitrovic, nods it down, swept away by Mbeumo.
Doesn't need to hit those big long diagonals, Diop. Just keep passing it short, giving it to players who know what they're doing with it. Don't be hitting 50-yard diagonals.
Reed at the lip of the centre circle, back across to Diop again. Diop in that long sleeve shirt. Fulham in their change kit, mint and navy colours tonight. Smuggled away by Brentford. Good tackle by Norgard. Tony's gone for it from range. A long way out. The goalkeeper retreats. Oh, it's hit the roof of the net. What an effort from Tony. Inside the centre circle. He went for goal to try and beat Leno, who was sprinting back. You could almost feel his heart rate gaining and gaining and gaining. Tony's gone for goal from nearly the halfway line, and he was inches away from catching out the goalkeeper.
What an effort. Brilliant. It's a great effort, you know, not an easy thing to do.
It was a breathtaking effort.
It was. He did well, actually, Leno. Moved his feet, stayed patient with his running, but he didn't panic and fall over like you see some keepers do. Think he'd have got it anyway if it was dropping in. But a brilliant, innovative effort from Tony.
Vision to go for goal there against one of the best goalkeepers in the league this season, Leno. And Tony, it just dipped a little too late.
Yeah, but just shows you a player playing with such confidence.
Well, he did once score from the halfway line for Peterborough against Bradford in an FA Cup tie, I'm very reliably told, so he has it in his locker, and there's just, you can feel the confidence coursing through the veins of these Brentford players. 20 minutes to go, they lead 2-1. And, well, they're not making that change yet, Danny. The subs have got their kit ready and on, but they've got bibs on and they're still warming up.
Well, they're having a good spell, so he's probably just thought, I'll leave it for 5 minutes. And sometimes you may manage to do that. Good decision.
Good turn by Tony, 30 yards out, lays it left towards Henry. Maybe slightly overhit, but Henry's got to it easily. Left wing position, plays it backwards. Jensen hangs up a high cross, and that is poorly hit by Jensen, and it's out of play for a goal kick. No sign of any Fulham changes yet.
There will be soon.
Yeah,
I think so.
Reed's there.
Yeah, I think maybe Willie and Lukic, even Solomon might just mix. He's going to have to freshen it up as the game will next 5 minutes or so, because they need some legs and some sharpness to stop causing Brentford problems.
Might open up here for Damsgaard, edge of the box, spreads it left to Tony. The angle's very tight inside the penalty area. Tony fires it into the side netting. I think he'd already carried it out before he could cross. Maybe Damsgaard could have taken that on himself. They have a tough, another London derby, Fulham, at the weekend against Arsenal, and then the FA Cup quarter-final away at Manchester United, which is an exclusive game to Talk Sport, I believe. Mitrovic has the ball on the halfway line, but Fulham are giving it away. Brentford having a very good spell. Jensen right of centre, 25 yards from goal, threading it through the middle, but again the pass is poorly played, and well, be careful when you're on top not to...
That's all right, though. I never mind midfielders trying to make passes. I was talking about before, having the courage to make things happen. You're going to fail. What's disappointing from Fulham's respect, Mitrovic had easy possession then. Sloppy play. Doesn't look quite at it physically.
That's the voice of Danny Murphy with us for the Monday Night Football again. Long ball by Diop up towards the halfway line, and that's a touch off Henry to take it out of play for a Brentford throw, and Decordova-Reid, I think, is getting stripped and ready to come on now. 2-1 to Brentford against Fulham. For the latest odds, head to Ladbrokes. Right now you can get Brentford to win at 9-2 on, Fulham to win at 20-1, or back the draw at 15-4. That's all thanks to Ladbrokes. Play at ladbrokes.com. 18 plus. BeGambleAware.org. It's with Ream now. Out to the left for Fulham and Robinson. Robinson driving forward into the Brentford half, but tracking back as Mbermo to make a good challenge.
Did well, important as well.
Now, Danny, are you watching and frustrated a bit by some of the lack of movement from your former side?
Yeah, well, I think it's credit to Brentford as well, their tenacity and willingness to try and win the ball back. I'd like to see Daniel James come on with his pace. I think Brentford are playing get higher and higher. There's more space behind them, now they're pressing. And that pace that Daniel James has can cause you real problems, maybe even put him down the middle.
Well, it's Decordova-Reid and Harry Wilson who are getting some instructions from Luis Boamorte, and very nearly ready to come on. The Brentford changes no closer to being made, but both sides looking at a double switch.
See, they're both players who like the ball to feet, you see. I think just mix it up. Maybe bring 3 on, 4 on. Change the dynamic of the game sometimes.
They've got time to get back into it. They've got 15.5 minutes plus stoppage time, and there'll be quite a bit of that, but they've given it away. Fulham, and Jensen is tripped and wins a free kick for Brentford on the halfway line, and I think now we will see the double change for the home team.
I think it'd be sensible to bring Lukic off as well. He's made a few little niggly fouls. He's done all right tonight, but he's on that booking. He hasn't played much football. He's getting tired.
First the changes for Brentford with Schade and Janelt ready to go. The reliably informed It'll be Damsgaard and Visser going off, but let's see. Here comes the fourth official, and finally you can see those changes being made. Fulham go first, and it's Manor Solomon, as Danny suggested might be the case, the goal scorer leaving the field, and here comes the former Liverpool man, Harry Wilson. And the other change for Fulham, and spot on again, it's Lukic off and Decordova-Reid off.
Yeah, that's sensible.
Well, that second change is certainly an attacking change.
Well, Pereira into central midfield. Decordova-Reid maybe going in as a 10. Harry Wilson on the right.
Willian's gone out to the left-hand side, and Damsgaard walks off. Just his second Premier League start tonight.
Yeah, he's done all right. Showed some really nice touches, nice glimpses. He can be pleased with his performance.
It is finally the German Janelt onto the field. And we're waiting here for Kevin Schade, another German with curly hair, on loan from Freiburg, and the obligation to purchase the player in the summer for Brentford for what would be a club record £21 million. He hasn't had too many opportunities. He's yet to make a start for the club, so his appearances have basically all been from the bench. And it is, as we expected, Visser goes off, and Visser is just one of those players who is becoming a fixture in the Premier League these days.
I tell you what, it doesn't have to take a long time to make substitutions, doesn't it? Is it really that difficult? I mean, well, I haven't really noticed before being at games. There's always been other stuff occupying my brain, but
you've always been on the pitch.
No, but this is ridiculous.
Well, I mean, look, slow walk, wasn't it? But it shouldn't take that long to make four subs. Well, they've done it now, anyway.
Yeah.
I warned you, there may be more to come.
Yeah, I'm sure.
13
get over it. I'll have to get over it.
Modern football.
I think I'm getting old. I just like moaning.
Danny Murphy with us tonight on Talk Sports, where it's 2-1 to Brentford, and the changes have been made, and we're back underway. On from Rea, the Brentford goalkeeper. They're playing from right to left in the second half, up towards Schade, the number 9. A flick on from Schade with his orange boots, and out of play it goes for a Fulham throw in the end. Janelt in a tangle with Reid, having just come on. Decordova-Reid plays it back to Harrison Reid again. Ream from the midway point of his own half angles it forward to the halfway line, and Robinson on the Fulham left. He's got Willian, who's now playing on that far side, streaking forward. Robinson on the overlap. Good move by Fulham. Deflected cross behind for a corner.
Robinson's energy and desire to get forward is sensational. Great fitness levels to do it. He's tidy with his feet. There are rumours that some of the big boys looking at this young lad, and I can see why.
25, Robinson started with Everton but didn't make a senior appearance. Williams corner short, and here is Harrison Reid. He's a heck of a long way out as he floats across into the box towards the far post. Mitrovic is unable to bring it down, and it's cleared away by Brentford out of play for a throw.
It's a bit safe from Reid. I don't like that ball. It's a little safey, chippy. Oh, put some whip on it. Take a risk. Give the forward something to attack.
Brentford 2, Fulham 1. And Talk Sport with Car Finance 24/7. Search Car Finance 24/7 today. The ball flies out of play, gone down the tunnel, that one. Hopefully nowhere near the commentary box, which is very close to the tunnel. Tete getting ready to take the throw, and the referee's telling him to doing that thing again, isn't he, Danny? Back a couple of yards.
Yeah, 7 inches.
Tete gets it back from Wilson, plays it forward towards the corner of the box. Mitrovic, good turn, couldn't find Decordova-Reid. 2 Brentford defenders getting each other's way, but it's scooped forward by Janelt.
He hasn't found a man in his own colour shirt for quite a long time, Mitrovic.
Well, just enduring a frustrating spell at the moment in front of goal, and maybe he gets that next goal whenever it is, and suddenly they start to flow again.
He's been sensational, there's no doubt, but he looks a bit off it physically, and that means your decision making gets poor. You get caught under your feet. The ball is he done all right at times in the first half. He helped get Fulham back in the game, but this second half, physically, he's looking a bit tired, looking a bit baggy.
Hickey, the Brentford right back. A little over 10 minutes left now. Ben Mee, midway inside his own half of the field. The sports bar comes. Live tune once we're done here. 03717 223344 to have your say. After this long and extended few days of incredible Premier League football, so much for Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy to talk about with you. Mee sends it back to Raya, the goalkeeper again. Raya pings it to the left back position, and it's Jensen forward to the left back. Henry up to the halfway line now is Tony. Brentford trying to find their flow again. Jensen hits a lovely first time pass out to the left, and Henry tried to volley the cross in. First time it was blocked by
Great
Diop.
move, it's a good move, good football. Brentford down the left hand side. Bit of token gesture pressing from Fulham. It didn't work. You either go or you don't go. Got caught in between a few of them there, but it was good play from Brentford.
Marco Silva standing on the edge of his technical area. Vinicius has been warming up now. He is one of two being called over to the near side touchline. Cedric is the other one. Henry for Brentford down by the corner flag. Deflected cross, is that going to spin out for a corner? Stays in play. Sharda, great skill to get beyond Diop, and then across came the midfielder Reed with an excellent late challenge after an amazing little bit of skill from Sharda with no room to work with there. Cleared away by Harry Wilson, only as far as the midway point of his own half, and then a foul by Decordova-Reid. Two Brentford players have gone down, Henry and Norgard, and Brentford have a free kick in the left wing position.
Yeah, silly foul at this stage of the game. Don't need to do that. I'm surprised sometimes that they don't see more of Vinicius. He's a handful. And Mitrovic, you could ask him to go hell for leather for 60 or 70.
Well, we're speaking to Marco Silva, and let's see if it's a straight swap. You wouldn't be all that surprised.
Or he might take a risk, put the two of them up there.
I guess he might as well at this point. With Fulham 2-1 down. Vinicius has only scored one goal since joining the club. It was against Chelsea, so it was in another West London derby. Free kick here to Brentford. Chanting going on between the two sets of fans, and Cedric, as we mentioned, also ready to come on. Another Brentford goal here would surely seal the win. Brentford fans on their feet in front of us, and Burmo, the only man over the ball from this free kick. And the two players retreat from the edge of the box, Hickey and Henry. And Burmo trying to swing one in dangerously, could fall for Ben Mee. Jensen on the half volley from a tight angle, miles wide, nearly went out for a throw.
Yeah, high tariff, worth a go. Worth a go. It wasn't the best ball in, actually.
Well, you were right to predict that they're going to throw on Vinicius alongside Mitrovic, because Willian is coming off. So it is going to be a dual aerial threat for Brentford to fight against for the remainder of tonight.
Lump it. Get it in there. It's the old style. Get the big boys in there.
Cedric for Tete, the other change. Well, I mean, if needs must.
Well, it's fine having two big lads up there, but you've got to get people round them, and you've got to get the ball in the box. And now they're going to try and play out on the keeper from the 6-yard box, so tell me the logic of that.
In the end, he does go long, Leno.
He's got to, yeah.
Flicked by Mitrovic towards Vinicius. Vinicius in behind, inside left channel, steers it across the edge of the penalty area, nobody there. It was a good ball.
He done his bit.
Plenty of attackers on the field now for Fulham. Decordova-Reid playing it left. Really only Reid is a defensive midfielder. Reid midway inside opposition territory. Early ball high towards Mitrovic on the edge of the penalty area. Mee was jumping with him. Flick further clear by Vitali Janelt. First the loose ball is Cedric. Cedric rattled it into the feet of Wilson though, and he couldn't control it. It was cleared away by Rico Henry. Brentford looking for revenge against Fulham after losing to them in August, and if they were to win tonight, it would take them on to 18 league wins against Fulham, and Fulham would be on 19, so it's usually a pretty closely contested game, this. Vinicius back to Cedric, who makes a terrible clearance. It's gone back towards his own goal.
What touch.
Tony got in front of Reed brilliantly. And he gets it back as well from Jensen. Tony forward to Schade. Schade darting down the right-hand side. Great pace from the sub. Plays it across Jensen! It's 3-1! Brentford have surely won it now! They wrap up victory in a classic West London derby. The Brentford fans are dancing in the stands. The Fulham supporters are heading for the exits. And what a lovely goal to round things off. Tucked in by Jensen. And it's Brentford 3, Fulham 1.
Well, it started from a ridiculously poor clearance from Cedric, who's just come on. I don't know why for Tetty, because Tetty was doing well. But anyway, he's made a mistake. And it's gone high up in the air. And Tony's touch is fantastic. He sets Brentford up on another attack down the right-hand side. And it's the substitution for Brentford. Schade. Great bit of skill. Goes Robinson, pulls the ball back. And it's Jensen killing the game. Really good, wasn't it, from the substitution, Schade. Really good pace and skill.
And Jensen there to plant it through the legs of the goalkeeper. And it's 3-1 to Brentford now. They'll be level on points with 8th placed Brighton. And Brentford would be 3 off Newcastle in 6th. 4 off Liverpool in 5th and 7 off the top 4.
Been the better team in the second half, I have to say. They have been at it, been more dangerous, more tenacious, more desire to go and really try and win the game. Fulham have had their moments. Not been a bad performance, but Tony's been exceptional. Whether he should be on the pitch or not is a different question. I don't think he should be, but he's been really good.
Well, we'll see what happens with all of that off-field stuff. On it, Tony has been one of the stars of the Brentford show tonight again, and Matthias Jensen's so important to this side as well. As Ream comes across to clear, out of play, Brentford throw right by the corner flag, and it's their home form that really is so impressive. It'll be another home win, another home game without a defeat, and 12 unbeaten in the Premier League home and away.
It takes a good side to win here, because you've got to keep at it all the time. Got to play your stuff, got to concentrate on the defence. Listen to that crowd.
Jensen will take a long throw from the near side the left. He hurls it in high towards the near post, away by Diop, and hooked further clear over his shoulder by Pereira. Mitrovic chests it down into the 88th minute of the game. Mitrovic is tripped, and a free kick to Fulham, and Brentford are going to bring on Josh Da Silva.
Good foul from Henry there.
They won't be able to bring on Da Silva yet, because the free kick's been taken quickly. Ream on the halfway line. Ream drifting forward now, looks up, thinks about crossing. Ream off by Yannick. Took far too long, didn't he? Sharda's on the break again. Can he set up another goal, the Brentford sub? He's clipped it on towards Mbermo, and Issa Diop on the half volley steers it out of play. Brentford have it back straight away. Morgard touches it on to Hickey. Hickey can't get beyond Deckled over Reed, nor Harrison Reed. It goes to Robinson in the left back position. It must be really frustrating for Marco Silva, because it was great play by Brentford, but the goal did come, as you say, Danny, from that awful miscued clearance by Cedric.
Well, I mean, football is a game of mistakes generally, but they've had some good moments in the game, but they've not helped themselves. You know, the silly mistake early in the second half puts them back behind 2-1, and then Cedric comes on and he's not ready. Robinson's early cross for Fulham, headed away by the giant Pinnock from the edge of the Brentford penalty area. So dominant for the most part again, Pinnock and Ben Mee. Still waiting to bring on Josh Da Silva with 90 seconds to go. A very eventful Monday Night Football, and a great pleasure to be here for a game like this. Pereira square pass to Deckled over Reed. Out further wide is Robinson again. The two big targets, Vinicius and Mitrovic, to aim at, but cross isn't played into them yet. Couldn't really do it. Robinson, he was blocked off. Now he's got a chance to cross again on that left wing. Early ball in, Mitrovic with a little flick. Good save by Raya to tip it over. Needed that to go in. big time.
Well, who knows? There might yet still be time into the last minutes of the 90. There will be quite a bit of added time, I would think.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought he should have brought him on earlier.
Vinicius.
Yeah, to help Mitrovic, because it causes problems for the back.
Pereira's corner, punched away by Raya. It's always a sign of a good goalkeeper. When you don't have much to do, you make a save like that.
Yep.
Cedric again, right wing, hangs up a high cross on the diagonal. Mitrovic pinning away, far post, can he get the shot in? Plays it across, almost off the line. Harry Wilson on the half volley. From the edge of the box, he puts it well wide, and it's a big chance gone for Fulham, and maybe without a chance of escaping with anything from this match.
Well, the reason Mitrovic is able to bring that down and have some space in the box is because Vinicius is on. It occupies defenders. They've got someone else to worry about. Then he flashes it across the goal. It's cleared off the line. It's out to Harry Wilson. Snatches at it.
Well, 8 minutes of added time.
8?
Yep. It's all those substitutions, Danny.
Oh no. And flares.
Yes.
Don't mean AIDS either.
Now then, off goes Burmo. And here comes De Silva. And it's going to be Mats Rösler to come on for Brentford as well. And Burmo gets a standing ovation.
We might as well stay on and do the sports bar at this rate.
Well, we're going to be eating into it. Do you fancy another 3 hours? You've already had.
Not outside. I wouldn't mind inside. It's only talking football, isn't it? Having a laugh with the callers. That's good enough for me. But not freezing.
That's exactly what will happen next on Talk Sport. 03717 223344, the number to call. Brentford fans, you have got to be excited by what you're seeing again. The other change for Brentford, by the way, a straight swap at right back, Rösler for Hickey. Rösler, the man coming off. So 3-1 Brentford, into 8 minutes added time. A minute of those has elapsed, but play's only just got back started, so you can probably say there'll be 8 minutes to go from here. And Fulham have it with Reed just shy of the halfway line. And forward to Wilson. Well, 8 minutes, it is possible, but it looks very unlikely. Brentford have overall been the better side. And it's amazing, when they score first, they almost always go on to win. In their Premier League history, unbeaten when they score the first goal, and it's going to stay that way tonight. It will be 22 record. Premier League games.
Yes, it's incredible.
Henry's got it in the left-back position for them. Scoops it high and long. Tony chases after it. Diop let it bounce initially. Did well in the end to cushion the header onto the chest of Ream. Now Harrison Reed. Locked off by Janelt. Tried to pirouette away. Referee says play on. Chance for De Silva. Straight away in the penalty area. First touch since coming on. Maybe understandably was heavy, but he's won it back off Tim Ream anyway. Back to goal. Right wing De Silva. Turning away from Robinson, who got a tackle in. That last touch was off De Silva, and it's a Fulham throw.
What Brentford are achieving this season, and their record, unbeaten record, is just phenomenal. It's hard to put into words how brilliantly they've done with what they've got. They can all be so proud of what they're achieving this season, as the Fulham players as well, but especially Brentford. I mean, they've not been at this level for long. It's incredible what they're doing. To big teams as well, they are really enjoying themselves, full of confidence. The manager has got great belief in these players, and vice versa. It's and the fans tonight, wow, really has. They've made this place. You come here, sometimes it's small, one of the smaller stadiums. Yeah. You kind of think, is it going to be able to generate that wonderful atmosphere that you get at some Premier? And it's not let me down twice. In fact, I'm not coming back again. They've beat
two former clubs now.
They've been two of my former clubs, yeah.
How many have we got to
Can I come when they play Man United, please?
Oh, you missed that earlier this season. Well, they'll definitely be back in the Premier League next year, of course. And who knows, they may well be in Europe next season. It is more than possible. It's still possible for Fulham as well. And a lot of credit to Fulham, of course. First season back after promotion
Put it in
from the Championship. Robinson crosses from the left, eventually headed away. 3-1 to Brentford. Harrison Reed on the half volley, a dipping effort and gathered by Raya. We are now nearly 4 minutes through the 8 added.
Yeah, it's been thoroughly enjoyable. Fulham have contributed to this game at times, but Brentford second half been really at it, showed great fitness, desire to go and win the game, keep going forward. Deserved the win. Ivan Toney's been terrific leading the line for them. He's going to be a big miss for them if and when he gets the punishment.
The ball is bouncing around in the middle of the Brentford half. It's headed away by Ethan Pinnock and fouled by Vinicius. Free kick to Brentford, and Pinnock and me have been just as integral again for Brentford tonight.
Pinnock's been outstanding, absolutely outstanding. I really like him. He goes about his business quietly. You know, he's calm, he's under the radar. You don't see him too many confrontations, arguing, moaning, arms in the air. He just gets on with his business.
Kind of mirrors this Brentford side.
Yeah.
He's another player, and just like Brentford, second season in the Premier League. Sharda for them, left wing position, down by the dead ball line. Can he tease out another cross? Plays it back to Rico Henry to deliver. Cleared by Tim Ream. It's come out to Norgard, well held up by Vinicius in front of Norgard on the edge of the box. 5 minutes to 8 added. Brentford 3, Fulham 1. Henry tracking back in front of Wilson. The crowd get to their feet. Thomas Frank applauds, and doesn't that tenacity just sum up the industry of Brentford?
Yeah, he's a good player, isn't he? Really quick.
They are such a great team, a great unit.
Yes, that's the key. Great unit, great team, great cohesion, togetherness, all the words that you want to use for a team that's winning games and playing with this energy and mindset.
Here is Reed, corner of the penalty area here. Reed for Fulham, striding towards the halfway line. He's away from Sharda, probably too late here now for the visitors. There are at least 2 added minutes to go. There might be a bit more than that because we had a stoppage at the start of injury time. Forward drives Pereira from the Liverpool centre circle. Wide is Cedric in a crossing position. Cedric delivers in towards Wilson, headed away by Henry. Just stretched enough to get to it. Fulham throw near side, right in front of us. Some of the whistles from the Brentford fans around the ground, and still got time to go just yet. At least 90 seconds. Vinicius holds it up with his back to goal, and quite a few of the Fulham fans have headed out to the ground now. Cedric drives it across, and it's too close to Raya.
Subs haven't done well for Fulham. Not made an impact like the Brentford subs. Vinicius done all right. He's been a presence up there, but Wilson, Cedric,
Cordova Reed's not had a
touch, no, and you know it's not always your own fault, of course, but Brentford substitutions have had an impact in the game.
Oh, what a touch by Tony to just let it drop onto his foot, caress that ball onto his foot from David Raya. And there's less than a minute of the allotted stoppage time to go. Scooped forward by Henry for Brentford, headed away by Diop. In West London tomorrow for the Champions League. Chelsea against Borussia Dortmund on TalkSport breakfast tomorrow from 6. Norgard dropping back into his own half, and a clever pass to Henry. Henry's always got energy. Yes. And Tony scoops it up towards Sharda, headed clear by Diop, back forward by Henry, and actually the offside flag was up against Sharda, but it doesn't matter for Brentford because they're nearly there.
Paulina's been a miss, hasn't he, in this game? That's for sure.
Oh, they missed him tonight, Fulham.
Because he would go round and he'd be rattling a few as well.
Suspended tonight, Paulina. Mitrovic trying to burst up the middle. It's blocked off by me. Driven away from danger by Pinnock. We've had the 8 minutes of added time. Brentford lead Fulham 3-1. Pereira shoots from range. Beaten out by David Raya. Rebound tucked in by Vinicius.
Well done. Great anticipation from Vinicius. I told you he looked at it when he's come on. Should have come on earlier, the boy. I've watched him a few times come on late in games. He puts himself about. It changed the dynamic up there for Fulham. Good strike from Pereira. Keeper should have done better. He'd be disappointed. He's about 30 yards out. It's bounced just in front of him. It's got a bit of dip and movement. He's pushed it out to the left, the keeper, and Vinicius just scooped that over him with his right foot. I think that's it though. Too little too late, I'm afraid.
Well, maybe will they get an extra 30 seconds here, Fulham? It might be too late. Vinicius has made it 3-2 to Brentford. Brentford kick the game off again. Back it goes to Raya, who just hammers it upfield. That is Brentford have won the West London derby, and they take further strides on this unbeaten run, now 12 in the Premier League, and maybe, just maybe, for a club that was in League 2 some years ago, Europe could be a possibility. These heady heights for Brentford that they have rarely ever reached before. It is a fantastic time to be a Brentford fan. They have beaten Fulham by 3-2. Fulham, who were spirited tonight as they have been all season, but ultimately beaten by the better side. Brentford, who went in front early on for Ethan Pinnock, and Fulham equalised through Manor Solomon, but Brentford turned the game around again in the second half. Ivan Toney, cool as you like, from the penalty spots. Matthias Jensen with a late clincher late on, and the Brentford fans, red and white scarves high up into the air, and the celebrations as Hey Jude rings around the ground can really start to begin. On the Monday Night Football on Talk Sport, it's finished. Brentford